far as joint venture partners are concerned, the process of finding such people and convincing them to work with you is somewhat more involved, but the benefits of bringing powerful JV partners on board are also considerably higher too. The first thing that I always do when looking for suitable partners is to go back to my favorite forum sites to establish who the authority figures are in the marketplace. If you've already been following the forum for a period of time, you may already have a pretty clear idea of who the experts and authority figures are, and these will be the people to approach first. If you're focused on online marketing, another place where you can find joint venture partners is JV Notify Pro, which you can find here, jvnotifypro.com. And this is a site where marketers who have an upcoming product launch announce it several weeks in advance to attract potential JV partners. You can join the site for free and post information about your product in an effort to do the same. However, before even thinking about approaching joint venture partners directly, you need to do your groundwork, because other marketers who have already established authority and a significant degree of presence in your market are not going to agree to just anything. For example, you need to test market your product or service before putting together your joint venture proposal, because potential partners are going to ask you about traffic numbers, conversion rates and earnings. And they not only want to establish that they're going to make good money if they decide to work with you, they're also interested in establishing that you know what you're doing and that your approach is as professional as their own. Now, one way that you can test market your product is by selling it at a bargain basement price directly to other forum members, if such a thing is possible. As an example, in online marketing terms, the Warrior Forum, which you can find here at warriorforum.com, is unquestionably the best known forum site, and there's a section of the site known as the Warrior Special Offers section, which you can find here, Warrior Special Offers Forum. And through this section of the site, you make an offer to other forum members that is unlike any offer that they can receive elsewhere. An example, let's say you're selling a $60 ebook from your publicly viewable site, but you might offer 20 or 30 members a copy of your ebook for $37 or $47 to gauge the response and conversion rates, as well as to bring in some cash as proof that the product will sell. This is also a good way of acquiring testimonials too, which can then be added to your main sales site as social proof that your product does indeed do what you're claiming it's going to do. Okay, once you've found experts who you believe would represent ideal JV partners for your business, the next thing to consider is how you approach them. Although you've prepared a highly professional presentation which shows them exactly what benefits they're going to gain from working with you, how are you going to put that presentation in front of them in the most effective manner? Well, I suppose the most obvious answer is to send them a presentation by email, but the sad fact is this hardly ever works nowadays. Most recognized experts receive several JV proposals every day, and 99.9% of them never stand a chance of being read. In fact, most top-line authority figures have someone who filters their incoming email for them, and part of the job is to remove everything but the most outstanding opportunities, or opportunities put together by people that they already know. In truth, getting your presentation in front of your potential JV partner could well be the hardest part of setting up the deal, so you need to apply some lateral thinking here, because what you need to do is to be different. For instance, most marketers are going to create a written presentation of their proposal, which they're going to email. However, as a far more interesting and engaging alternative, why not create a screen capture video of your presentation using software like Cam Studio to capture evidence of earnings, site activity and everything else related to your presentation on camera. And you can download the software for free from this site here, camstudio.org. Okay, let's take it one stage further. Instead of sending them a download link for the video, make a CD or DVD copy using the services of a company like Kanaki, or you could do it yourself, but it looks far less professional, before sending the DVD by snail mail or courier to your prospective partner. Even top-line marketers are not averse to the buzz of excitement caused by an unexpected parcel arriving, so a DVD with a polite covering letter asking them to view your presentation is far more likely to have a positive impact than is an everyday common or garden email message. Another option is to send a paper copy of your presentation via the fax machine. Now, nowadays almost no one uses faxes, which means that the arrival of a fax is far more of an event than it used to be. Furthermore, because fax machines almost always sit in relatively public areas in the office, the chances are that your fax is going to be picked up by a clerk and delivered to the boss by hand. In fact, one strategy that I've employed to get my presentations in front of potential JV partners is to follow up the original posted DVD presentation with a fax of the written version as a reminder. Doing this 48 hours after the original mailed version of the proposal should have arrived has proved to be remarkably effective. If you get the proposal in front of the decision maker and what you're asking them to do is something that they can work with, the chances of landing your deal are fairly good. But in order to do so, what are you going to give them to convince them to work with you? Nowadays, 50% commission is not going to cut the mustard unless you're offering 50% of all the sales that you're going to make to their list members. In other words, if you have a back-end offer or have included a one-time offer, 50% might work if you offer them an even commission split on these sales on top of half of the revenues generated by the front-end sale. However, you might have to be prepared to let them have 75% of the commission while you take only 25%. If you do so, then even at this level, if you've landed a deal with a top JV partner, it still represents a major coup for you. Think about it this way. Every customer that you land because of this JV project is someone to whom you can promote your products and services for as long as they remain on your customer mailing list, which should be a long time as long as you continually offer them quality and value. Hence, while you give away the majority of the commission on the front end of this JV agreement, you're in a position to generate a continual stream of commission earnings for many years to come just because of this deal. So be prepared to be generous, because by doing so you make it far more likely that you're going to land the joint venture partnerships that you need if you're really going to make your product fly. If you do everything that you've seen in this video series, you'll very quickly put your business in a position where you're seeing hundreds of targeted visitors arriving on your site every day, with increasing numbers visiting daily. However, you should not get the idea that what you've seen here represents every possible idea and strategy for driving targeted visitors to your site. Indeed, whilst what you have seen of it does represent a very effective and ultimately profitable step-by-step traffic generation program, there are hundreds of different ways of driving targeted traffic to your site, with new ideas being developed or discovered all the time. In fact, the only real limitation to your ability to drive targeted visitors to your website is your own imagination and willingness to try new things out. As one simple example, I've made no reference or mention in this series of marketing your online business in the offline business world. Nevertheless, if your product or service is appropriate and you have the time and resources available, marketing offline can be extremely effective as well. As one simple example, because those who don't have their own business online are far less regularly exposed to online marketing offers, they're often far easier to turn to customers than the more cynical regular net users. So don't get the idea that there is no other effective marketing strategy apart from what you've seen in this series. Nor should you allow yourself to close your eyes or your mind to new opportunities and concepts. Nevertheless, if you work through the process step by step, as I've suggested, you'll put in place a very powerful targeted traffic generation program that will almost certainly guarantee that the business you're operating will be a success. But never forget that achieving success is all about determination, willpower, and persistence. Sometimes things don't happen quite as quickly as you'd like them to, which is when way too many would-be online entrepreneurs quit. With a well-structured traffic generation program, together with the necessary personal attributes, you will succeed. Of that there should be little doubt, so don't ever think about giving up.